Hello and welcome back for episode 29 of Pentagon for Gold. Today is a big day. We are finally moving on from Cape Town Spurs and we have a job offer, as you can probably see in the must respond. But first I will show you just a little bit of how we've done during our time at Cape Town Spurs. So I'll begin with just some of the signings that are coming in soon. We've got Anderson Rodriguez from Once Caldas, I assume is how you say that. He's 17, so he's not joining yet. In fact, all of these guys aren't joining yet. Sebastian Pereira looks like a really good right back for this level. He plays as a wing back, but look at those defensive stats and the pace and all the physicals, really. I reckon he might be probably the best player in the division when he comes. He looks very, very good. Danilo, someone that I've had in the Champions League winning team I had with FC Groningen, as I mentioned before. He's actually out of contract already, as it seems. But he isn't able to join till 1st of January, which is a shame. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how he does here if we ever have a look back at how Cape Town Spurs are doing without us. He's a very good player, though. And then Alvaro Londoño Bedoya is a very promising looking forward. Pretty good stats, similar to Sitole and Mkwanazi. A bit worse finishing, but probably a bit better as an all-round player. And he's 17, so he isn't able to join yet, but he looks very promising, and I reckon he'll be one of the better players in the division pretty soon into his time here. As you can see, he scored 10 goals in 29 games in the Colombian division. So he's a very good player. If we have a look at our transfer history, though, you can see we haven't actually spent all that much at any point, really. What's our most expensive? We spent 3.2 million last season, which actually probably for this level is quite a lot of money. Then 2.5 million. Then before that, it was basically nothing, really. And sales-wise, it wasn't until this season, which is the 23-24 season, that we made more than $1 million. And that was also the first season that we spent a bit more money on players as well. I think that was when we started winning things like the Confederation Cup. 11.25 million in last season. Mental for a team of this level. You may have noticed Metsimbi for 3.4 million, rising to 4.3. Unreal. Finally, 200k coming in this last summer, and a few players coming in, and yeah, our squad's done very well. It's a bit bloated now. I didn't want to sell too many players because I wanted the game to whoever comes in next, I want them to deal with the squad, and there'll be a lot of loanees going out anyway at the end of the season, so I don't want to leave the squad too short of players. Interest in Siander Daniels from Chongqing and LA Galaxy, so there's still going to be some players leaving. Mkwanazi's got interest from KV McKellen in the Pro League, I believe. But yeah, this team has done phenomenally, and as you can see, we have won the Total CAF Super Cup and the MTN 8. I'll just show you the schedule and you can see how we've been doing since the start of this season. It's been pretty good. We've had one draw. Aside from that, we have cruised through the MTN 8, really, winning eventually 3-1 against Sundowns, despite Gift Dodo getting sent off. And we beat ES Setif 8-0 in the first round, first leg, and then 2-1 at home in the second. Not quite sure why. I think it was partly because I rotated a lot, but it's a slightly odd score differential, particularly when I was away from home in the 8-0 win. And yeah, so we've had some very good games in this season so far, but it is time to move on. And if we just have a quick look at the honours list, most of these will be from the time that I've been here. 1 Total CAF Champions League, 2 DSTV Premierships, 3 Nedbank Cups, 1 Total CAF Confederation Cup, 4 MTN 8s, 3 Telcom Knockouts, 1 Glad Africa Championship, and 1 Total CAF Super Cup. I think probably we'd had 1 MTN 8 and 1 Telcom Knockout before I came here. But it's been a successful stint at this club. And yeah, we've had a great time here. Very good facilities. Loved the players that we've had here. And I'm an icon. I'm also the only person in there. Not quite sure why that's happened. I'm pretty sure there were more than that. But yeah, we've done phenomenally well in our time here. And I think we've left Cape Town Spurs in a really, really good position. So now, I think it's probably time to take a look at who our second club is going to be. That's right, it is Guangzhou Evergrande. Very excited about this. Lots of money in the transfer budget. We'll have a look at their schedule to see why Fabio Cannavaro got sacked, because I just got very lucky that this was their worst season in the entirety of the save, and I'm really excited to actually take over Guangzhou Evergrande. I don't know if Fabio Cannavaro's found a job yet. No, he hasn't. But he's got some very good stats there, particularly for a manager in China. So I'm excited to take over here. As you can see, we have to play attacking football. We can't sign any non-Chinese goalkeepers, although I wouldn't really plan on doing that. I think I want to get my non-Chinese players in other parts of the team. Develop players using the club's youth system. Probably not the greatest players that are possible. I don't think there are many Chinese teams with particularly good youth players, but we can hope that there'll be a couple that come through. Signing high reputation players, absolutely no problem. I will enjoy using this 98 million transfer budget. This is why I wanted Guangzhou Evergrande. They're just a fun, short-term part of the save where you can just have you can get some players that you wouldn't be able to get until you were a world-class team elsewhere. We're not being judged on anything really because the season ends in, I think, just over a month. But yeah, it's nice to come in, just have a nice end to the season, relax, and then work out exactly who we want to buy in this next summer. So we want to win the CSL next season, grow the club's reputation, and develop the best youth system in the country. I don't know what the current best youth system is, but I will definitely be keen to do that because, I think we've got the finances for it, certainly, and I do like playing with youth players on this game. So let's start negotiations. We had a few issues with discussing the compensation fee with my board, but I managed to convince them to lower it, and they eventually caved, and as a result, we are now the manager at Guangzhou Evergrande. And there we go, finalised the deal, exit talks, and will we instantly click into that? Yes, we have. So yeah, I've left Cape Town Spurs and moved to Guangzhou Evergrande, and yeah, as soon as I declared interest in the job, I became the favourite. Just 70k in compensation. I'm sure Cape Town Spurs will feel a bit robbed there, given that I sold many players for over £1 million, and Guangzhou Evergrande have a lot of money. We've also got Mario Valencia and Flavio joining us from our backroom staff. I think that Mario Valencia is a decent fitness coach, and Flavio is just a generally decent coach. Both of them wanted to come with me, as a few others did, but I didn't want to overdo the compensation fees for Guangzhou Evergrande because I didn't want to put them off getting me. And yeah, so I'm excited to have this team at my disposal. I will probably be trying to get rid of a lot of the foreign players because I don't think they're good enough, to be honest. And yeah, we'll get in some big names, I'm sure. We're currently 5th in the CSL with 43 points from 25 matches. We're expected to be first, so clearly Fabio Cannavaro's had a bit of a difficult time this season. But we have won 4 of our last 5 games in the league, so we're on a bit of better form. And yeah, so we're expected to be first. We've got a very good stadium. We've got some good facilities, actually. I seem to have a good knack of getting good facilities in this save. And the club's founded in 1994. I don't know where that ranks amongst Chinese teams, but I think Guangzhou Evergrande are definitely the biggest team in China in the last few years. They've got the likes, I think it's a Paulinho and Anderson Talisca, I believe, was the other guy that was with them at the start of this save. I think they've both left now. They were on 300k to 400k wages, and I think there might be like an 100k wage cap in this league on FM. I'm not quite sure, but the foreign players seem to be on less money than they used to be on older games, and I know there are changes to the system in real life, and even the teams like Jiangsu Suning don't exist anymore despite having just won the league. So it's unusual. We won the AFC Champions League in 2013 and 15, top division 11 times and 2 times runner-up, CFA Cup in 2012, 2016, 21 and 22, and won the Chinese second tier in 2007 and 2010. So I guess it must just be that a lot of money came in recent years because they were still in the second division before that, and certainly since I've heard of them, they've been probably the biggest team in China. So let's head through. This is our squad. I think I recognise Popov and Van Hoysden. I don't know quite how to say that name. Fernando he was actually a Brazilian who's become naturalised. We also have Elkeson, who has become Ikeson or something. He was naturalised after many years at Guangzhou Evergrande. So we've got a slight advantage in that we've got two Brazilians who became Chinese and therefore they don't fit into the foreign limits, which gives us a bit more to play with. I'm going to try and get in loads of players with second nationality of China, and hopefully that way we can sort of play around the rules a bit. I might also try and get one of the better Asian players because that helps for the Asian Cup. And for the Chinese League, we'll just get in all the foreign players that we can, and we'll probably have to not register them all for the Asian Cup, which is not ideal. I remember this being an issue last year where I had to avoid registering some players. But yeah, I'm excited to get started with this team. And here is everything we've already looked at. Basically, we have to win things. That is the expectation at Guangzhou Evergrande. It's not entirely surprising, and we don't need to worry about those right now. I'll have a press conference to meet the media, but I won't show you that. No need to. And no need for an advice report. And this is exciting. So as you can see, my career stats are very, very good. 74 win percent, 8% loss ratio, 9 cups and 3 leagues. Let's see. So yeah, Elkeson clearly is not doing too well nowadays because he's 36. I think he's a bit rubbish. But he certainly was the best player in the team, at least the Chinese players, a while back. Anyway, I'll show you in a moment what the tactic is, but I'll do that after I've created it. Well, you'll be excited to know we're going with pretty much the same system as we did in Cape Town Spurs. It's just what suits the current squad that we've got. We have got an absolute ton of foreigners playing in centre-back and midfield, but not really any other options. Pankov is not registered, so I'll probably be selling him as soon as I can. And Glenn Kamara, I'll probably also try and sell because he's 29 and is only 4-star, so he's obviously not an amazing player. Because bear in mind, the Chinese players in this team are pretty awful. With the exception of Fernandinho, who's another one of those who is actually Brazilian. If we have a look at his stats, he looks okay. I'm not quite sure how it works with second nationalities or players becoming naturalised, whether they'll always do that. But I don't know, it might be a bit risky to try and, get any of those guys really. I think I might go for Tyus Browning, who I remember being Chinese and at Guangzhou Evergrande when I did this last year. But he might not have any interest in joining. I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, so this is just a very Chinese squad. The Chinese players are nowhere near the level of the foreign players, apart from a couple of them who are decent. And even then, they're only 2.5-star mostly. And yeah, we are in 5th place with a -2 goal difference, which is quite impressive given Shandong have an 18 goal difference. If we have a look at the schedule, horrendous start to the league, lots and lots of losses here, and then a decent period where they won 6 games in a row in the league, including against Shanghai Shenhua, Jiangsu and Shandong Luneng, before a DL Pro loss sort of catapulted mixed form. And I think they sacked Fabio Cannavaro after this 3-0 loss to Jiangsu, who are 7th. So that was the last straw for the board, because they had a couple of easier games here, but they'd lost all the big games really. And as you can see, there's not many games left. We do have quite a nasty run: 2nd, 6th, 8th, 1st, and 12th. Which in a league of 16 teams is quite difficult, but we're not being judged at all on this season. We're just going to try and get through to the end of the season and have a good time. So yeah, that's our squad. That's the reason that Fabio Cannavaro was sacked. And I guess the first game that you'll see will be against DL Pro in 2 days' time, where we'll try and cobble together some team. It's also annoying you can only have 4 foreign players in the playing 11. So yeah, we're going to have to rejig this team a little bit. So, our first game as manager of Guangzhou Evergrande is against Dalian Professional. They are currently 2nd in the league, I believe. Their foreign players are Lindelof, Tapsoba and Emmanuel Berting, as well as Bruno Costa. I'm not sure about the last two there. I'm not sure how good they are, but they've also got Jorginho on the bench. Meanwhile, we've got quite a lot of foreign players in our team, so we're not actually able to play all of them. I think Camara generally misses out because he basically has no shape, so he must have not played at all, really. Unfortunately, Fernandinho, who's pretty much our only good Chinese player, is a bit tired, so he's not able to play today. That means we've got Van Huysden at centre-back with Glenn Kamara at right back, and Jamie Suan and Matthias Svanberg play in the midfield. All of our front three are Chinese players, including Elkeson, who, although he was once good, is not able to do that anymore because he's just too slow. Hopefully, we can still come away with a victory, but I wouldn't expect too much from this game because, as you can see, DL Pro are 7 points clear of us at the moment. Let's hope that we've got enough in the locker. I think I'll try and get a bit of defensive solidity for now, and hopefully soon we can focus more on the attacking players. I also need to work out exactly how it works with foreign players and whether you can get Asian players and Chinese Macau. I think there's one good player from them who is very good for this level, and it might be worth getting him because he doesn't necessarily count to some foreign player limits. It's all a bit complicated. Poor keeping from Bao Yakxiong. Pretty easy header to score there in the end. Really went straight through the keeper, but I'm not expecting miracles from him because if you look at his stats, aside from the aerial reach and kicking, he's pretty awful. There's a lot of players that I'll be looking to replace with players whose contracts are expiring soon. And here we go with the throw-in. Svanberg now. Van Huysden is very tired. I'm not quite sure why. He did start at full fitness, but I guess maybe he's not in the best shape. I don't know. We've been pressed back here. We could do with actually getting it forward and keeping them away from our goal. Svanberg. Good pass into Huang Zhizhe. We keep sort of going forward and then just going straight back, but that's a really good ball. Svanberg, oh, just wide. Aside from the goal, I think we've actually been more dangerous. Yeah, that's a pretty safe assumption for something that's going to work in motivating the boys, even when you're new to a club and the players don't necessarily have that respect for you and aren't usually motivated too much by what you say. Chengbo into Sewan. Got a nice bit of space here, and they've won the ball back, so it looks like they'll be countering here. Could do with Camara getting back, but he looks a bit sluggish here. Don't think that's a penalty. Good thing is we have VAR. I guess with the amount of money in this league, it would be a bit of a problem if they didn't. And the referee says no penalty. Good work, good work. Could do with just creating a little bit more. We aren't, although we've had better chances, we aren't really creating all that much. Yu Yi-wei is actually our only left back. I had to promote him from the under-21s because there's literally no one else in the squad that can play that position, which is a real issue. Let's get Popov on in centre-back, and I can't take him off, really. It's a bit of a problem. Definitely will be an area I'm going to be looking to invest in the summer, or actually in the winter, I suppose, because the Chinese season goes at different times. Who shall I bring on? I don't really have any options here. I guess Cheng Bo can go there. Yeah, he's not really a box-to-box midfielder, but he's probably the best option we have for that. And let's get Fernandinho on as an inside forward on attack. Hopefully he can get us that goal that we need in this game. Good clearance from our injured left back. Elkson's header has just gone straight on to the opposition. Oh, that's a really good ball. And yeah, that's probably offside. Yes, it is. I think we can make one more substitution, so let's see what our options are. I guess we'll bring on Xiao Jiangtou. Not a great player at all, but kind of got to deal with what we've been given. I think we'll go attacking because we need to press forward. We'll also slightly increase the directness of the team. I think we've been unlucky here. We've done better than them overall. It's just that one header that snuck in. And the boys are reasonably happy with what I said there. In fact, they're very happy with what I said there, which is, you know, decent for building morale. I don't know if the morale will have gone down anyway because we lost, but, you know, what can you do? And that is that. How long is he out for? Just 1 to 2 days, that's good. 8 games without scoring. Probably a bit early to criticise him for that, so I'll head into the next game and yeah, hopefully we'll get a better result. It's all change in our front three today, with Bing Zhang, Fernandinho and Menglan Zhu coming in. Everyone else stays the same from the last game. Apparently Zivkovic is the man to watch out for, but it doesn't look like they have too many. 1, 2, 3. They might only have 3 foreign players in their first 11 unless I'm missing someone. Cafaro. So they are playing 4. But yeah, we've certainly got, I think, just about the strongest team in this game. In fact, in theory, we should have the strongest team in the league. The main issue is that we just don't have a left back, and yeah, it's a bit of a problem really. Hopefully we can get some points on the board here, although I don't think it matters all that much because I don't think we're going to be able to qualify for the Asian Champions League regardless. We'd need to win every game and have the teams above all drop points, and our goalkeeper is awful. I think we probably need to get at least a striker who is a foreign player because we don't really have any threat up front. I'm going to be going for a lot of players on pre-contracts and things. Mental having a centre-back taking the corners because he's the only player with decent stats for that. Oh, that's awful. Oh, keeper made a save. That is a surprise. I wonder if our high line doesn't really work with these players because we at least had better players than most teams in the league last time in the South African division. But in this league, I mean, we've clearly not got a great, at least consistency in our team. If we had everyone being as good as Van Huysden, then we might have a chance. But yeah, we clearly don't. So the left back and the centre back just aren't good enough for this level. Yao Zhunsheng getting absolutely dominated this game so far. It's been really rubbish. And Lopez, good save from Bao Yaojing in the end. Zivkovic with the corner kick. Cafaro. Given our defence a torrid time, really. I think I'll probably try and sell some of the foreign players and replace them with better ones, and certainly try and balance them out over the team a bit because we've got 3 defenders and 2 midfielders and 0 strikers. So yeah, this is getting a bit embarrassing now. Awful positioning from the keeper there. No idea where he's going. Look at that. What is he doing? Haven't had a shot on target yet. And as we look at the league table, we're now down in 7th. We're slipping down badly, and our goal difference is shocking. It just seems like the recruitment hasn't been quite right in the last couple of years, because on the whole the team's won the league every season apart from once where it came 4th. But yeah, the whole team, the team generally is pretty poor. There's no balance to it at all. awful from camera, but a decent save from Bao Yajong. Zhang Bing with the corner, and now Fernandinho. I don't know why he shows up differently in game from how he appears everywhere else. Zhang Bing though, and there's our first goal under my management. Good finish from Zhang. First shot on target as well of this game. Let's see, who should we get on? I think probably El Kasson should come on, and perhaps Popov or Sewane. Is that the best he is in that role? He can play as a defensive midfielder, so we'll play him as that. And then, honestly, I've got no idea who's any good around here. I think probably we'll bring on Yu Junjian, and that is his best role, so... Well, that was rubbish. Oh, it's gone out for a corner. I thought it came off one of our players, to be honest. I think we'll go attacking because we need to try and get 2 more goals, at least. Huo Zije. Into Svanberg. Bit of space here. And Zhang. And not quite as clinical as he was on his last effort. But he's looked like the most dangerous of our Chinese players. So I think he'll probably be getting the nod next season as well. We've come into a bit more in the last sort of 15 minutes, which is good, but we could do with not going 3-0 down before that happens. Zivkovic, and that's 4. Yeah, well, overall this performance has been pretty poor. He came up a bit in the last few minutes, but overall it's just not been good enough, and our defence generally has been pretty rubbish, and our goalkeeper has let in most chances. Don't know why Huo Zije keeps getting upset every time and no one else is. I mean, there's no way that you can think that was a good performance, so, you know. Let's see. Yeah, we did not do well at all. And, yeah, so we sit in 7th in the league. We've got 3 games left. I probably won't show you any more of them because there's not really much point. The next episode you'll see will be after a transfer window where I'll try and work out what on earth is going on, who to buy, who to sell, and what the rules are for registration. So if you have enjoyed and are looking forward to the start of a new era in China, then please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as it really helps me out. In the meantime though, I hope to see you next time and have a great day.